So I want to talk about these 5 jobs really quick that a lot of people think require degrees, but actually just require licensure. And this is so important. Okay, so the first one I'm going to lead with is actually PE.
So PE is professional engineer. So it's like what we're talking about here.
Yeah. To clarify too, this is not like process engineer or software engineer / developer. Those are not the same thing, but people refer to them encapsulated now. So I'm just going to dismiss both of those for a second. But these are people that work on hardware, that do math, that build bridges, that build things, that engineers like that. Okay. So certain states allow people to become licensed professional engineers, PEs, through years of documented work experience and by passing the fundamentals of engineering, FE, and PE exams rather than requiring an engineering degree. That's just the truth. And so there are people that can take and sit for the FE and the PE without buying a college degree. Also, to have the documented years of experience and be able to, I'm sure, actually be able to use the tools that engineers do use, as opposed to a lot of engineering grads that I think would make people very uncomfortable if they met some of these fresh out of college engineering grads who they're saying, I wouldn't feel safe in trusting an engineer that doesn't have a degree. Well, I wouldn't feel safe if I had an engineering student who just graduated and doesn't know how to use Excel. So let's just level with the fact that experience here and then sitting for this exam would make somebody a high quality engineer. This person is the exact same as anybody who bought a PhD in engineering and then took the exam. They have the same level of licensure to do that job. His PE looks like her PE, looks like his PE. It's the same. Now, a couple others that I think are really key here. Pilot's one that a lot of people know. You go to flight school and then you take an FAA exam and you are a licensed pilot. That's how that works. You do not have to buy a college degree to do that. There's actually not a single US airline that requires a college degree for any of their pilot jobs now as well. Not a single one in the US. Now, another one that we've talked about before, but is really controversial is lawyer. There are several states that allow you to read the law. And before the formation of the ABA, that was how lawyers became lawyers. It's crazy to me the amount of lawyers that don't know that. And also, if you look at our legal system and what's happened to it since then, I would argue that maybe we should go back to that standard and we have better lawyers. Another one that's really common, this one I get all the time, is architecture. The NCARB has 2 degree-free pathways to licensure. The 2XP, and I forget the name of the other one, but basically what you do is you just submit a portfolio of work and then you take and sit for the exam. You have to sit through the board and then they give you an exam. A good example of this too is Frank Lloyd Wright is probably one of the most famous top of mind architects for many Americans in the last 100 years. He was degree free and he was a licensed architect. People can build things. They can learn to build things. It's just how it works. And if they take an exam that licenses them to do so, it's the same as any other architect. The last one I'll say, well, actually I have 2. One, interior designer. And I'm going to say it because every single time we talk about the fact that interior design, yes, building codes, blueprints, safety codes, does not require a college degree, they all lose their mind. So I'm going to say it anyway, because that always irritates me because there's only one state that requires you to have a license to be an interior designer, not decorator, designer. The last one is actuary. These are not easy exams. And actually, if you pass these exams, this is the standard for you being an actuary. And you can be an apprentice, but you have to pass a series of exams from either the Society of Actuaries, the SOA, or the Casualty Actuarial Society, the CAS. And they are extremely complex mathematics, statistics, and economics.
So the 5 there, and you gave a bonus one. The 5 was PE, professional engineer, pilot, lawyer, architect, actuary, and then interior designer. And yeah, for all of these jobs, you don't need a degree.